not being able to talk shit with my best friend on Tuesday has been a struggle for me. Some of you guys know, most of you guys don't. I have been going through a lot of health issues. To my Black men, to my people in general, take your health serious. I've always been one of those people to take my health serious, but I was in a funk. Getting out of that funk, all I really cared about was getting back financially stable again, because it had been a while since I wasn't financially stable. You know, once you get financially stable and you're able to do any and everything that you want to do and still help out the people around you, build your business, it feels good. It does. And I wanted to get back to that, and that's really all I was focused on. And I wasn't paying attention to my health. My mom and my sister were around me. They was telling me, like, Jerry, there's something wrong with you. You don't look good. You're losing weight. And I wasn't listening. I was being stubborn. I battled with seasonal depression a lot. So I knew that that's one of the reasons I was losing weight when I was coming out of that. But after that, you know, it was different. Remember the last episode that we did was the episode when a young gentleman got murdered because he was voguing to Renaissance. That day, before we did the pod that day, I woke up and that was the first thing I saw. And I'm not one of those people who actually check their phone when they first wake up. I like to decompress. I like to listen to music. I like to listen to my own thoughts in silence. And then I check my phone. But for some odd reason that morning, I checked my phone as soon as I woke up, because I had to go take my mom to work because somebody had busted her window out in a car. So I had to stay home to get the window fixed. And that story really touched me. Like it really touched me. It put me in my feelings. Me and my mom had a really nice conversation. And she just told me, like, Jerry, you know, I'm glad you and your feelings about this, but we need to get you together. There's something going on. There's something wrong with you. And I was receptive to it. Thank the universe and thank the gods, I was able to get a same day doctor's appointment, which is quite rare these days. Went to the doctor at 3:30, went to Lake Health, had like a regular checkup. They did some blood work. They did a chest x-ray, and Lav knew for a fact because she could tell from my breathing. She was like, Jerry, it's something wrong. You need to get the x-ray with the contrast. And they didn't do it.
The CAT scan with and without contrast.
CAT scan. Yeah, my bad. The CAT scan with and without the contrast.
Just, you know.
She knew.
Because, I mean, you know, I'll be knowing a few things. Just one or two.
After I left, did all the blood work and stuff that same day, I still didn't feel good. Like, I didn't feel good. And I couldn't breathe. I was really having trouble breathing. And shout out to my sister, Kayla Niece. She was like, you know what? Nah, they ain't moving urgent enough. We switching you over to Cleveland Clinic. I went to the emergency room at Euclid Hospital. They did the test that lab said I needed done. They discovered that I had pneumonia in both of my lungs. Said it was a mild case, but I'm still fighting it. I'm still taking antibiotics. To this day, I still got at least like a couple of weeks worth of antibiotics I'm taking. I also had a fungal infection in my throat and in my mouth. So that was causing it to be extremely dry. Didn't have an appetite because I wasn't able to eat because I couldn't taste nothing. And everything was just dry to me. So I had been losing weight. I had the pneumonia. I found out I was anemic. In this whole process, keep in mind, I've never had health problems like this. I've always been a fairly healthy person. I had one of the scariest moments I've ever had in my life. I had a panic attack, an anxiety attack, because I was scared to go to sleep because I thought I was going to stop breathing. And it was the scariest thing I've ever faced in my life. I couldn't stop screaming. I felt like my mind was breaking in half. Thank God for my mother and my sister. They were right there, but I was being so mean to them because I didn't know what was going on. I wanted the love and affection that they were giving me, but at the same time, I wanted to be left the fuck alone. I was scared that when I went to the hospital, the way that I was acting, y'all know how society is when it comes to Black men. The police was out, they was looking,
you
but
got to be real careful with that, man.
you got to be real careful, but I couldn't control myself.
I know.
It was an extremely scary feeling for me, because I wasn't in control of my own body and my own emotions, and that's definitely not something that I'm used to. But thank God the nurses and the doctors that were around me, they saw that I was just having an extremely bad panic attack, because they knew for a fact I didn't want to hurt nobody, because I wasn't trying to hurt nobody and I wasn't trying to hurt myself. I ended up spending, after that, I want to say about a week and a half in the Euclid Hospital. Like I said, they were the ones who discovered that I had the pneumonia and the fungal infection in my mouth. After that happened, I was home for some days. My doctor, my new doctor, shout out to Dr. B. She's fantastic. She's extremely thorough. She don't play no games. She said, Jerry, it's something wrong with your kidneys. I need you to come to Marymount immediately, because that's where I will be at for the next week. And we need to figure this out before it turns into something serious. My kidneys was making me pee too much. Now, if you know me, I've always been the pissy friend. I've always peed a lot, but during this process with all the IVs and me being dehydrated and not eating and stuff like that, my body was still flushing out liquids like it was nothing. And I'm peeing back to back, filling up toilets and the little pee jugs. So I was in the hospital for additional week while they figured all that out. The scariest thing was, because my kidneys were forcing me to release so much liquid, my sodium levels were extreme. All my levels in my body was off. They were all either extremely low, too high. I took all kind of steroids. I'm getting shots in my stomach because they were worried about blood clots. I'm taking actual sodium pills, like a salt pill 3 times a day. I'm on steroids, I'm on antibiotics, I'm on IVs constantly. They constantly taking blood from me. And it's different when you getting blood taken, but when they do the actual, they begin with a C, blood test, and it's a bottle.
The cultures?
It's the cultures. It's like a bottle this big that they filling up with your blood. And they doing 3 of those at a time. And you see shit like that going on and you're not even used to being. I've never had a stay in the hospital. The most I ever had was stitches in my hand because I cut myself. I did have a really bad bike accident when I was a kid. That was it. I've never even broken a bone. So when you're seeing stuff like that and you're in a hospital, it was extremely humbling. It was extremely scary. I feel like I had a second chance at life and I'm not going to waste it. I appreciate all of the people around me, my mom, my sister, fantastic. Fantastic. I owe them the world. I owe them everything. Shout out to Lav. Shout out to Darrell. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to my homie Fats. Shout out to my nigga JD. Shout out to my auntie Patricia. I can't wait till she come in town so I can see her. My auntie Sonia.
Yeah.
They kept me sane. Because the overthinking was in full throttle, even to the point where in the hospital a couple of times I was having sleep paralysis. I was my mental was waking up and my body was still asleep. And that's something that is also extremely scary to go through. If you've never experienced it before, I don't wish that on anybody. Where your mind wake up before your body do. That shit is extremely scary. So I just really want to thank my support system. Y'all really Y'all really held me down. Always knew that I had the people around me they were important. I've had the same people around me for years. Most of them are family, but when situations like this occur and you see that they actually care about you and they show up for you and they support you, it's an extremely beautiful thing. It's an extremely humbling thing, and I wish that on everybody, for you to get real, true friends and family in your life. A lot of us think that we have that, but when shit hit the fan, we're facing stuff alone. I have not been alone in this whole process. Since the day that I found out about all this, I have not been alone, and it has been the biggest help that I could ever have in my life. Even shout out to Mr. Ventus. I'm extremely thankful for him because he's one of the few people in my life who I was just like, nigga, I'm not fucking with you no more. I don't even want to be your friend no more. And he was just like, yeah, bye. We still gonna be friends. I'm always gonna fuck with you. And he has held me down. He has supported me like no other man that I have dated in the past before. Like, he has stepped up to the plate, and it was amazing. He actually, he saved my life. Y'all know how I felt about Beyonce. I was still determined to see Beyonce in Atlanta. And he a nurse. He got a whole business out here, helping people, home health aid and stuff. And he really put it in perspective. He was like, Jerry, you're going to Atlanta, you can barely breathe. You're going to walk for at least 40 minutes just to get in there. He said if something happens to you when you're in that stadium, you lose your breath, you're going to die. They're not going to be able to save you fast enough. You don't want that to happen. You don't want Beyonce to have that happen at her show. Y'all, I broke down like a baby. That was my first time crying in years. But he was the perfect person to tell me that, because everybody else knew, but everybody else understand how much she means to me and how much this album means to me. And I don't think nobody wanted to break me like that. I don't think anybody that was around me really wanted to break my heart like that, because that was a lot. I still am struggling with it. I still cry sometimes when I think about it, that I missed that show. Hopefully I can go to her last one. Fingers crossed. If you want to donate to send Jerry to go see Beyonce, cash at me. I appreciate it. I'll take PayPal. Even if I don't take PayPal, Laugh got me and she'll send it to me. All the bases covered as far as that note, but like dead ass. But
what's the Cash App, Jerry?
The Cash App is $ just Jer, like it is on everything else. We are
just
consistent around here.
Underscore Jer?
No underscore.
Okay.
Just Jer. I got a yellow shirt on and I'm smiling. That was the outfit I wore to see on the run too when she was in Cleveland. So I thank him for that, because he really did. He saved my life. I probably definitely would have. It was bad, y'all. Like, it was bad. Like, my breathing was real bad. It's greatly improved. That's one of the main reasons I haven't done Talk Your Shit Tuesday, because I couldn't hold a conversation. I couldn't talk longer than 5 seconds without wheezing, without losing my breath. And you don't realize how important something is, as important as breathing is, until you can't breathe. And so yeah, I don't want to get too emotional because I feel it coming. I've been in my emotions have been high as of late, but I'm glad I experienced this, because it is giving me a new perspective on life. Hey, Mom.
Yes, Miss April.
The mama is in the building. She's the GOAT. It's giving me a new perspective on life. It's giving me a newfound respect and love for my mom and my sister. It's reaffirmed the love that I have for my best friends, especially Laugh. She's a real one, y'all. I keep telling y'all, everybody need a laugh in their life. I'm so fortunate to have her. She showed up, and as a friend and as somebody who you care about, even us being business partners, all you really want from the people around you is to show up. And she showed up more than once. And she consistently showed up. She consistently was contacting me and making sure I was good. She even let me drag her to the movies the other day because
Child,
I really wanted to get out the house.
Can we get into that?